There are many Frenchmen who I love, and they are near and dear to me. So I will say, not all French. Okay, I will say that. But a surprisingly large number of French I will put out there. Wait, what the f is this? The woman who robbed $1 billion and almost got away?
Introduce you to a woman who will surprise you.
Oh, I know who this is.
This woman is cunning, ruthless, brutal, easy to underestimate. And even though she's from a country that most of us can't place on a map, I think it's important we know her story.
Johnny, is she in prison still?
I don't know if there's a satisfying story or answer or whatever here, but I'm gonna document it and see if there is. And if you're watching this, that means that I found something.
My very special guest is a visionary, very talented, politically oriented young lady. I call her the Princess of Uzbekistan. Pleasure to be with you tonight.
One thing, don't use that idiotic line, dictator's daughter. I have a name, which is as simple as yours, Natalia. Natalia. Hi, how's it going?
Hi. Oh my god, my background is a mess. You mind if I like quickly clean up behind me?
Do whatever you need to do, totally. I'm asking myself, why am I obsessed with this story that happened 10 years ago?
Damn, bro. Literally filming her cleaning up her background? Chill, dude. A little bit of respect.
It's a good story because it's a tale like no other. Such a Shakespearean tale. Having reported and having never had access and having all to the people in power because they don't give you access. It was just so surreal to suddenly get a Twitter message from Gulnara Karimova. Don't call me dictator's daughter. I have a name just like you do, Natalia. That message will always sort of stay with me. I was fascinated by whatever the hell was going on there.
The thing that I'm interested in talking to you about, do you remember how you perceived her all those years ago? I spent a lot of months looking into the Princess of Uzbekistan, and I wouldn't be able to do that without sponsors. So I'm going to quickly say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform that makes therapy more accessible to everyone using technology. I'm a big believer. We should do this first month of BetterHelp. You can try it out at a discount and see if it works. You can cancel at any time. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. And with that, we're ready to dive back into the story of the Princess of Uzbekistan.
What is this? One of the FaZe Clan's newest members mentioned me in his announcement video.
Like, what is the point? Why do y'all always gotta feel like y'all gotta talk about my hairline? Bro, I'm finna get it cut, bro. Nigga, it's been a rough month. I ain't streamed last month. I ain't make no money. I swear to God, y'all niggas stay on my dick, please.
I love when Brother Banks makes light of our criminal justice system bending for a fat bag of bread. What do you mean? He's a prison abolitionist. Thank God, dude. My commitment to FaZe has never been stronger now that all the women are out. Is Banks still balling? You better silence yourself with that slander. That's legally actionable slander. All right, let's get back to the woman who robbed $1 billion. Truly your worst taking, you know this. Banks not a good person. You know he's a scammer, bro. And for whatever reason, you don't talk shit kind of weird. You're right, because I phase up all day, every day, bitch. All right, let's get back to the woman who robbed $1 billion.
Islamovna Karimova, currently in jail. Okay, Tom Main.
I am the #1 FaZe dick rider.
Karimova expert is Chris Laslet. Have you reached out to him? Laslet.
Hello there.
Hey Johnny, how you going?
How you doing?
Hey, going?
Not bad. So
Fucking Aussie.
Karimova is the daughter of the eldest daughter, in fact, of Uzbekistan's first autocratic president. You have these newly formed independent states emerging out of the rubble of the Soviet Union, with these newly minted leaders, got one foot in the Soviet tradition and one foot into the future.
Okay, Uzbekistan in the 90s.
For a second, I thought the Sonic Youth tee that he was wearing was my Sonic Youth tee, the one that was inspired by the Sonic Youth cover.
All these new states emerge out of the rubble.
And then you have the children of that first generation of leaders.
Born in the 1970s, so when the Soviet Union falls, she's in her 20s.
You know, obviously they had extraordinarily powerful parents.
Oldest daughter of Islam Karimov, the dictator of Uzbekistan. Her mom is an Uzbek economist, Russian descent.
Bro, my man's name is
currently has
Islam. He
2
can.
children.
She was one of
Y'all
the
are
first
just
in that
haters
sort
for
of
getting the bag.
post-Soviet generation to go abroad, to immerse herself in both Western Europe and North America.
Studies international econ in Uzbekistan. Goes to NYC, studies jewelry and fashion. Gets a master's degree. Okay, then Harvard. Okay. Gets a PhD. Really quickly. Another degree. This one in telecommunications. Damn. How many degrees does this woman have? Uzbekistan.
She was far more than just the daughter of President Islam Karimov, her father, who was an appalling dictator. She wasn't just a princess on the side of things. She was a part of the system.
And then she becomes the permanent representative for her country at the United Nations. It's kind of a big deal. It's like a huge post. A couple of years later, she becomes the ambassador to Spain.
That speaks to a personality that's extremely driven, extremely ambitious, but at the same time, you know, from all those who I've spoken to, they also describe someone who was ruthless, who had visions of grandeur. You know, she began to intimate that she may indeed be the successor to her father.
Yeah, y'all just hate to see a girl boss winning, bro.
As president of Uzbekistan.
And this is where I need to shift because my mind can't go any further unless I better understand Uzbekistan.
Bro, the masturbatory process of just like showing all the steps in the funniest ways possible, like Googling stuff, going on Google Maps, Google Earth, going on Wikipedia, emailing people. I literally love him for this reason, but I also can't stand it sometimes. You know what I mean? Will he open a dictionary and highlight the word dictator? No, because he did that like for 8 videos already. So now he knows what it means.
First observation, Uzbekistan is beautiful.
My man is the GOAT.
It's a super landlocked country, like it's double landlocked, meaning all of the countries that border it are also landlocked. There's only one other country in the world that has that situation, which is Liechtenstein, the microstate next to Switzerland.
L.
Wet keyboard alert. Stop everything. Turn the keyboard off. Dry it off. This unfortunately happens more often than I like to admit.
This is a very closed regime, very unknown, very secretive.
The security services, the Uzbek equivalent of the KGB, control.
Are you anti-Turan, Hasan? Of course not. Uzbekistan is a proud Turkic nation. And as a pan-Turanist, neo-Ottomanist myself, I believe that they are incapable of doing anything wrong and that they're very good overall.
Controlled a lot of the economy, very ruthless, Putin-esque type of characters.
My perception of Gulnara and the subsequent work that I did in Uzbekistan is really inseparable from horrendous human rights.
Yeah, they just hate to see girl bosses and boy bosses win. You know what I mean? They hate to see the Turanic, they hate to see Turkic motherfuckers thrive, you know? Oh man, he's doing torture. Oh man, He's doing unrestricted corruption. It's like, bro, chill, dude. Okay, chill. Just like, why are you up the bag? You just said you don't know where Uzbekistan is.
Human rights violations that were happening at the country at the time.
This is a government that shot its own people dead in the street when they were protesting. We're talking hundreds of people just mowed down. The regime that used torture systematically in detention, no free media, no free speech, no free association, freedom of assembly, none of it.
They do have full-blown freedom from the top of the hour ad breaks, though. They don't see them. To all my Uzbekistan chatters out there, you are fortunate. You do not see the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, whereas many others, especially in the Western world, do see it unless they subscribe. They can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, and then they will also be able to avoid the top of the hour ad break like the fair and free Uzbekistan chatters. That's right. You see that form of oppression. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Okay, I want to get back to the princess here because that's what this story is about. But at least we have a foundation of what Uzbekistan is today, and that might help us understand what she gets up to next.
How dare you can be so different.
Wow, this is wild.
This is Gulnara Karim.
Hater.
And you're watching Fashion TV.
Our princess Gulnara starts to do everything. She launches a jewelry line.
We have
Hater. That's a goat. She's a queen. She's thriving, and you're hating. Bro, what is wrong with cis-het white men? They see a woman of color girl bossing her face off, and they have to take her down a couple pegs. Yeah, let women enjoy things, bro. Let women enjoy things.
a jewelry collection presenting today.
You start to see her at all these fashion shows.
She got a real thrill from having access to very powerful and important people.
I think I was blessed to have very good friends with artistic talents.
She has pictures of herself in the background with the Clintons.
It's so organized.
Well, I graduated from Harvard, so.
She launches a music career. Her stage name is so great. It's Gugusha. These are good names. Kind of gets a little bit of traction and starts making these music videos that are pretty wild. I've been watching them. She writes a screenplay, famous actors to be a part of it.
Movie premieres, galas.
She creates all these NGOs.
They got Gerard Depardieu up in that shit? That's crazy.
Charitable work in Uzbekistan.
It was impossible to avoid Gugusha.
Benefits and red carpets with the glitterati.
She's got properties all around the world. She's doing all right. And crucially, there's even talk about her becoming the next leader of Uzbekistan.
I said Depardieu. That was a very Turkish moment. Gerard Depardieu is how you say it in Turkish. Gerard Depardieu. He was a famous actor in Turkey when I was growing up because we watched a lot of French movies because they would come before American movies ever did. Gerard Depardieu. Gerard Depardieu. Gerard Depardieu. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
And if that's the story,
Depardieu!
It might not be that interesting, but there's a lot more to it. I'm on WikiLeaks right now, and I'm looking at a document that...
He's a rapist and a pedo? Dude, you are saying literally the least shocking things on the planet to me right now. Oh my God. I can't believe an incredibly famous French actor is a rapist pedophile. Oh my God. What's next, dude? I mean, this is fork found in the kitchen shit, okay? What do you mean, bro? Well, oh my God, that's so crazy. What's next, dude? Are you going to tell me that an incredibly famous, world famous French philosopher signed a petition to lower the age of consent and abolish it altogether? I would be shocked if you were to tell me that. Don't ask a woman her age, a man how much money he makes, and French philosophers what their opinion is on the age of consent. Just don't do it.
Shows us that Gulnara was up to a bunch of other things during this time that had nothing to do with pop music and jewelry design.
I think the more obstacles you have, the more successful.
It's like weird though, because I still think that Leon the Professional, in spite of all of the issues being made by Luc Besson, who also is a rampant sexual assaulter and definitely a pedophile, was a phenomenal movie. It's like, it's such a good movie. Fifth Element's pretty good too. Leon the Professional is like one of my favorite movies. It's extra weird when you find out that, what's his face? What's the name of the dude in it? The main character, Jean Reno. Jean Reno personally thought that Luc Besson's direction was way too pedophilic and deliberately made his character come across like a little mentally stunted, specifically so that it wouldn't be as pedophilic. Have you seen Luc Besson's new movie? It's kind of wild. No, I have not. Yeah. Like Luc Besson was like, be a pedophile, please. Like, what are you doing? Be a pedophile. Be le pédophile. Be le pédophile, please. The book is about le pédophile. What are you doing? And Jean Reno was like, no, that's gross. I'm going to portray this character like he's mentally stunted and cannot have the capacity to love a child. Luc's Taxi film still worth watching? Oh, absolutely. Luc Besson. I grew up with Luc Besson's entire collection of movies, specifically ones that are about, obviously, the Algerian taxi driver who drives Le Peugeot, okay, and drives it really well. Super modded out, customized Peugeot that even flies at a certain point, I'm pretty sure. Taxi, the Taxi series. Yamakasi is another good one. Yamakasi is about le parcours. That's right. All of these people living in the banlieue that do le parcours. Yamakasi, great movie. Very good movie. Another one is Banlieue 13. Also very good movie as well. Another one. Le Haine is good. I don't think Le Haine is Luc Besson. It's just a good French movie, but it's not Luc Besson, I don't think. Is Le Haine Luc Besson? Yeah, no. Le Haine is Mathieu Kassovitz. Le Haine is a great movie about police brutality. Nique la police! Anyway, yeah, Le Haine is a classic. Fifth Element is also a great movie as well, but I haven't seen any of his new movies. Read my last comment. Luke once said in an audition session for a 12-year-old girl that I want a girl who thinks je n'ai sex. So gross. It is not surprising. Luc Besson is le pédophile. Anyway, say any more about the French, I'll start smashing up restaurants. What the Listen. I have many good friends in France now. Okay? There are many Frenchmen who I love, and they are near and dear to me. So I will say, not all French, okay? I will say that. But a surprisingly large number of French I will put out there. Hasan, go to France? I have been. I have changed. My Francophobia has gone away. The French will be the first to admit their elites are all degens. Yes. French men, but not French women, says everything there is to say about you. Okay, don't ask French women what they think about transgender women and le woke culture and feminism. Okay, there you go. Is that good? Don't ask French women, French female activists, what they think about the current, what they think about the current wave of le wokisme. Also, to be fair, I mean, you know, Emmanuel Macron was also a victim. In some ways, so French women can get the smoke too.
You couldn't have a bigger contrast between the public face of this beautiful, glamorous, charming woman and the horror stories that people were telling about her. In some ways, for many people, she was the ultimate symbol of the injustice that was happening in Uzbekistan.
So I love this cable. This cable's so useful for what we're trying to do here. Well, a lot of the world is seeing all of.
Whoa, Johnny. Your handlers are not going to appreciate you going on that website, my friend. Johnny about to be like, listen, this website is pretty good for this specific instance, but let me tell you, okay? The guy who operates it needs the death penalty. The guy who made the website sucks. Should go not to prison, but straight to death, okay?
Of this, the American diplomats in Uzbekistan see through the facade. They say that there's this propaganda campaign happening in Uzbekistan. All of these articles being written about Gulnara. They focus on
Israeli officials believe ICC is preparing arrest warrants over war? No. Oh my God. Are you serious? The Israeli and foreign officials also believe the court is weighing on arrest warrants for leaders from Hamas. If the court proceeds, the Israeli officials could potentially be accused of preventing the delivery of humanitarian aid. You didn't know that? Yeah, I didn't know this. What the f? It just came out. America will invade The Hague. Can you imagine? America will literally invade The Hague. Yeah, but the U.S. is trying to delay it. Time to become Hassan Piker, international bounty hunter. I don't think you can do that. The German foreign ministry and the U.S. are trying to prevent this from happening. Yeah, they're like only old news. Bro, this is from literally this morning. What do you mean old news? A lot of people's understanding of what old news is, is just like, oh, it's like 3 hours old. Well, that's old news, man. Like, this is literally April 28th, 12:34 a.m. This is, 16 hours old. It did get reported a couple days ago. I didn't see it. Also, unconfirmed rumors. I mean, this is also technically still reporting on unconfirmed rumors, is a little bit better than it was reported in Israeli media a few days ago. Since you said Sunday, wow. I mean, this is a fun day when you think about it. This is some fun day news. Anyway, let's finish this Johnny Harris shit.
Her selfless giving, her charitable work, her business acumen, and that she might even be the next president of the country. She's honest, hardworking. She's looking out for the best interests of her country. But then the diplomat says all of this likely irks the many business people who have been crushed by her greed. And then they say that actually she's more like a robber baron. Pretty juicy quote by the State Department. Pretty spicy. She is a greedy, power-hungry individual who uses her father to crush business people or anyone else who stands in her way.
I will never forget talking to this businessman. He had visible signs of torture on his face from the time he spent in prison in Uzbekistan. And the only reason that he went through this insane torture in jail and that ruined his life completely, and then led him to multiple suicide attempts long after he was, out of prison. The only reason was Gulnara, because Gulnara, he ran a successful business and she wanted to take over, and she made sure that she took over. And that is not one single story. That story was repeated again and again and again.
Each time you have an obstacle, you have an opportunity to think what is right and what is wrong, where is black and where is white. And you have a moment to decide what's your next step.
In the early 2000s, she divorced her then husband, who came from a prominent family in Uzbekistan that ran lots of businesses, specifically in bottling, like with Coca-Cola. After the divorce, the ex-husband alleges that she used her personal bodyguards to beat him up and then used her power within the government to shut down or take over his family's businesses.
She immediately began a campaign to eviscerate the Maksudi family's joint venture stake in Coca-Cola, and she did this by using the courts as her personal legal scissors to cut it up. He claims that Gulnara could write court decisions and just...
She's doing BDS, dude. Allegedly trending in Twitter. Bro, what do you mean? I've trend on Twitter all the time, man. What the fuck does that matter? Why are so many people consistently being like, dude, you're trending on Twitter, you're trending on Twitter? Yeah, what happened now? I don't know. I don't even see Twitter trends. I don't even know how you find them. Yeah, I trend every day. Okay, I have a bunch of psychotic haters that ironically keep hyping me up. I don't know where the you would even find the trends, to be honest. I legitimately don't even see them on the corner anymore. And I'm not even trending on my own. I just found it. I'm not even trending on my own Twitter.
Just give it to the judges who would then deliver it because they would have been afraid of what would have happened to them.
She could get away with it because she was the daughter of the president, and I mean, people were frightened of her.
We have a proverb which says, what doesn't kill us always makes us stronger.
The firm paid $220 million to an offshore company secretly controlled by Gulnara Karimova, the daughter of the then president of Uzbekistan.
United States District Court, Southern District of New York. United States of America versus Gulnara Karimova and Behzad Akhmedov. Count 1. Conspiracy to violate the Foreign Corruption Practices Act. The defendants engaged in an extensive corrupt bribery scheme in which Karimova demanded to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes. Karimova solicited and facilitated corrupt bribe payments from the 3 telecommunication companies and their subsidiaries to shell companies controlled by Karimova, who at the time was an Uzbek government official. In exchange for the bribes, Karimova corruptly used her influence over the Uzbek government to ensure that the 3 telecommunication companies and their subsidiaries acquired telecommunication licenses, which under Uzbek law could not be purchased or transferred by private entities. In total, Akhmedov and others conspired to make approximately $866 million in corrupt bribe payments to Karimova.
There was a very, very, very dark side to her.
Karimova conspired with others to launder the bribed funds from and through bank accounts in the United States in order to promote the ongoing bribery scheme and conceal the proceeds in that scheme. From 2001 to 2012, Akhmedov conspired.
By the way, like, this is pretty funny that he's like doing a video on this person, but this is literally like, I feel like this is every country in that region. And he already described exactly why Uzbekistan is the way that it is. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just like very, very post-Soviet to have like an authoritarian dictator in a country that like America doesn't really give a shit about that much. And also, you know, their children going to Western schools, coming back, continuing the lineage, continuing the legacy. I don't know.
Conspired with others to pay more than $420 million of bribes to Karimova.
Many hundreds of millions flowed into her bank accounts. Bribes would be distributed through different commercial camouflage.
Karimova caused numerous payments to be made and laundered through multiple bank accounts held in the names of shell companies. The receipt of a telecommunications license and other government benefits in Uzbekistan. Associate A, a representative in an American company, met with Karimova in Dubai. At the meeting, Karimova threatened to cause problems if they did not give her 20% stake in their business for no cost. On July 29, 2004, MTS transferred approximately $100 million. August 2004, the escrow agent transferred the approximately $100 million bribe. February 2008, Karimova sought additional bribes from MTS to pay an additional $30 million in bribes to Karimova. What did Gulnara do with all this money? The property known as the Gorse Hill Manor. Look at this gorgeous house that she bought. 17 acres of garden, indoor swimming pool, jacuzzi, as well as a lake. Just checking in to tell you that, oh God, I haven't spoken in a moment. I'm deep in it now. And I'm in that point where the next section of the story, like what happens, like the beginning of this downfall, is infinitely more complicated than I was prepared for. Karimova used other individuals to act as nominee owners and shareholders of Shell Company C. 8 Market Muse in London, an offshore company affiliated with $30 million, sent approximately 14 payments totaling $10.5 million. Vipilcom subsidiary transferred $20 million, $331 million in bribes to Karimova in exchange for Karimova exercising her influence.
Scooping up everything, oil, gas, telecommunications, finance, logistics, manufacturing, industry, agriculture, drug trafficking, and illicit enterprises.
$9.2 million, $5 million, $80 million, $15 million.
She didn't just run one thing. She had her fingers all over the place. She was building a big empire.
The picture that all of this paints is that Gulnara Karimova, during this time that we see her being this like fashion icon and this music star, is actually during this whole time involved in a massive fraud and corruption scheme that basically traverses the whole world. In the middle of the early 2000s, she did some telecommunications degree or something, right? As she's getting her Bachelor of Arts in telecommunications, she's also, we know now, deeply involved in a giant corruption scheme where she is receiving money from companies in order to give them the licenses to build telecommunication stuff in Uzbekistan. It's 2012. Gulnara has built this massive corruption network around the world. She's taking in tons of bribes through all of these shell companies. She's using all of these ill-gotten gains to buy really nice homes in England and elsewhere. She's continuing her image as a fashion and music icon, but this is where she starts to make some pretty big errors.
We can, I think, pretty definitively say that she overstepped whatever lines that they were. She was stepping on people's toes.
She was making some very...
This was literally me learning FNAF lore at age 13. Don't lie. You learned it by watching MatPat videos. You watched MatPat go through this process and then make a YouTube video, and you watched the YouTube video.
Powerful people angry.
A very notorious character called Rustam Inayatov, who was very close to Gulnara's father.
And those powerful people were foremost in the security services, and the security services are former KGB people, and they have very strong links to the Kremlin.
She pissed him off, clearly, and he made sure that she was punished.
They can see that she's expanding and expanding like the universe, and it's a zero-sum game. The more she expands, the less they have.
It's the king and the king's court. People on the inside are allowed.
Dude, I don't know. I just don't care about this. Am I crazy? Like fuck. Maybe it's fucked up of me, but she's stealing money from other rich people, so it's kind of boring. I mean, she's also doing like torture and is like malicious towards people that have that she perceives as personally wronging her and stuff. But I just don't really give a shit. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Sad to report, looking at the geolocation data, we have no Uzbek chatters, one Kazakh chatter though. A lot of the he did not do a good enough job, in my opinion, of like causing me to want to know about it. And it's also way more focused on like him doing the research. He might be desensitized. It just feels like it feels like it's so much more focused on like how difficult it was for him to do this investigation. Anyway, you already know what time it is. It's early gaming time, baby.